Dear friends, now here we are going to discuss Euro and Bharat norms. Up till now, we have discussed the different things regarding the engine emissions. In the case of SI engine and in the case of CI engine, the different kind of emissions which will come out from the engine. The emissions like the hydrocarbons, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide. So such kind of emissions are very much harmful to the environment as well as the human health. So we have to reduce that particular emissions. So we are using the different devices like the catalytic converter, then the particulate traps, then the thermal reactors, then ELCD, etc. etc. Even though the exhaust gas recirculation methods. So this kind of a different devices, with the help of this one, we can able to reduce the engine exhaust emissions. But to reduce these particular emissions, the every countries has their own rules and regulations. So the Euro norms and the Bharat norms are nothing but called as the different rules and regulation made by that particular country itself. Now here we are going to discuss about the Euro and the Bharat norms. So before going to understand this particular detailed thing about the Euro and Bharat norms, we must have to understand the few things. So the emission norms are the statutory requirements that sets the specific limits to amount of pollutants like NOx, then SO2, PM, CO, CO2, soot, HC that are released to the atmosphere. So the norms specially focuses on pollution control, which is created by automobile, power plant, diesel generator, and power producing different devices. So these are the different norms which has been made by the different countries. So basically the Euro norms refer to the permissible emissions level for both the petrol and diesel vehicles, so which have been implemented in Europe. So Euro is nothing but this is about the European standard norms which has been made by the European countries itself. So however, the government in India has adopted these particular Euro norms for available fuel quality and the method of testing. It requires the manufacturers to reduce the existing polluting emissions levels in a more efficient manner by making certain technical changes in their vehicles. So the Euro emission standards define the limits of exhaust emission from almost all type of vehicles such as cars, two-wheelers, heavy vehicles, etc. The European standard emission were first introduced in the year 1992 in Europe, and till now the 6 stages of Euro standards have been implemented. The Euro standards regulate the emissions of nitrogen dioxide or the nitrogen oxide, that is NOx, hydrocarbons, that is HC, carbon monoxide, that is CO, particulate matter, that is PM, and particulate numbers, that is PN, by technological upgradation of vehicles as well as of fuel. So there are separate regulations for lightweight vehicles which is fewer than 3.5 tons and the heavy duty vehicle. So these particular Euro norms are different according to the different vehicle standards. So now, after understanding this particular European norms, which is generally basically made by the European countries for their country itself, and India has adopted that particular norms initially. So now we are going to understand, or now we are going to take the overview that emission standards in India. So India has introduced its first emission standards in the year of 1991, but India's first emission standards equivalent to Euro 1, which is called a BS1. BS1 is nothing but Bharat Stage Norms 1. So it has been implemented in the year of 2000 and in limited cities after Supreme Court ruling in 1999 to implement the Euro 1 or the Euro first by the year 2000. So in the year of 2003, again the BS2 norms was adopted in the only 13 cities in India and adopted nationwide by the year 2005. So the first national auto fuel policy was adopted in the year of 2003 on recommendation of the Mashelkar Committee in the year 2002. So the auto fuel policy 2003 was implemented in the year 2005, and BS3 introduced in again 13 major cities of India and put into practice in entire nation by the year 2010. So there is a big gap between 2005, that was the first implementation BS3 in the 13 major cities, and throughout India nationwide it was implemented in the year of 2010. So in 2012, the Saumitra Committee was formed to draft auto fuel policy 2025. As per the Saumitra Committee recommendations, the entire country has to be covered with Euro 4 and BS4 emission standard by 2014. But till now, the Euro 4 is applicable in 13 major cities only, and Euro 3 in rest of the nation. Now, the BS4 to be implemented by 2017 in entire country in the phased manner. So further, Saumitra Committee recommended to implement the BS5 and BS6 in entire nation by 2022 and 2024 respectively. But recently, the government of India decided to skip Euro 5 and directly jump to Euro 6, that is nothing but Bharat Stage 6 standards by 1st April 2020. So right now in our India, the BS6 norms are implemented in the sector of automobiles. So, what is this BS6 norms in India? So, according to the BS6 norms in India, our government of India has set few things about the whatever amount of pollutants will come out through the different vehicles. So, I'm just giving you a small overview about this BS6 norms in India. So, as per the BS6 emission norms, the petrol vehicles will have to effect a 25% reduction in their nitrogen oxide emission, and the diesel engines will have to reduce their HC plus NOx, that is hydrocarbon plus nitrogen oxide, by 43%, their NOx levels by 68%, and particulate matter levels by 82%. So with the help of these, the whatever kind of a pollutants which will coming from the burning of air and fuel mixture from the engine. So with the help of such kind of a norm, the different manufacturers of the different automobiles in our India, they have to use some additional devices which have to control these particular pollutants, and these are the different numbers which has been decided by the government of India. And according to these particular norms, the whatever the automobile manufacturers are in India, they have to follow this particular standard. So this is again very good for the environment as well as for the human health. So accordingly, these norms are timely implemented, and there will be some changes in these particular norms. So I hope you understood this particular thing about Euro norms and this particular BS standard. So thank you so much for watching this video.